All right, so me and Mrs. Nikki Gardner went to a farmer's market out in Georgia, and we saw these sunchokes. Now, Mrs. Nikki Gardner been telling me ever since we've been dating and known each other, telling me about these sunchokes, how delicious they are. And we wind up finding these, and she cooked them at the apartment, and they were pretty good. They kind of taste like a potato-ish flavor and a little bit of nutty flavor. And what these are is basically a Jerusalem artichoke or sunchokes. So in this video, we're just going to show you how we're going to grow them. This is our first time ever growing these. How to grow sunchokes, and we're going to start right now. What's going on YouTube Gardener? It's your boy Sydney from the Nikki Gardner channel. After watching this video, hopefully you'll see how we're going to grow sunchokes for our very first time. Never grown sunchokes before, so if you see that something that we're doing wrong, please comment down below to see how we can better growing of these. Now, we do a lot of these growing tips and everything, so if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss an upload. And right now we already have a good well composted soil. We made this compost or made this potting mix before. If you haven't seen any of our videos about how we make our own potting mix, we'll put a description down below. But it's basically a roughly heavily composted soil with some peat moss, some cow manure, and vermiculite, perlite. The perlite's add for drainage. The vermiculite is add to help retain the moisture. And then we're going to be adding some of this worm casting to give a balanced nutrition. Mostly it's going to be the nitrogen. And then we're going to add some of this potash. And potash is a very well-known slow releasing fertilizers for things like potatoes, carrots, onions, things that require bulbs and stuff like that. And then we're going to also add some kelp meal. Now kelp meal, it adds some potash and also it has other micronutrients along with some trace minerals. So this is very good to allow for your plants to be alive or adds more nutrition to your soil. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a handful of each. We're going to do the kelp. Then we're going to do the potash. And this is just about a 20-gallon container, fabric container. And the fabric container is going to allow air to penetrate the roots. And then we're going to add some worm casting for the nitrogen. And we're just going to mix it all in with this potting mix. And basically do it like that. Now, the sunchokes are similar to like the ginger and turmeric. It's one of those plants where you can just hit and forget it. Now the maintenance on it is very easy. All you need is anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, and so with the sun, it's going to be traveling this way, so we're going to get enough sun to be on here. And these are a Mediterranean tropical type plants, so they need a lot of water, but moist but not saturated. The best way to plant these is since they're tubers, if you just plant them in ground, they will take over, they will spread out. So you want to try to plant these in a container like this. Another thing for our grow zone of zone 8A, they will act as a perennial. So after the frost, if anything that we don't harvest, we can just leave them into the ground, just basically clip the plant off, and then during the next springtime, they will start to bud up. Now these will flower. They're kind of the family of the daisy, and they will look like a sunflower. A sunflower is part of the daisy family, if you didn't know that.
No, you're smarter than me sometimes.
Most of the times.
Not really. Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
Continuing.
Now the good thing about these, with the Mrs. Nikki Gardner done already, she have grown some in this container already. You can use these as a double crop container. So she has in here, you have what, the wasabi radishes?
Yes.
And as you can see, they're doing very well. We'll probably have to fertilize a little bit more in there. She does have a few bulbs in there, and so hopefully within the next 15 days,
We harvest it before
Yeah.
they grow up.
yeah, and you'll start seeing the bulb from there, and then you can just harvest those wasabi radishes once you get about anywhere about 1 inch to 2 inches from there. But you can even eat these, harvest some of the leaves, and probably use them into a lettuce or a salad or whatever type of dish. Maybe use it as a lettuce in your sandwiches, whatever.
I'm
like
curious if they're spicy. Can you taste it?
I'm not too, you're more of the peppery person, so you like to eat
Tell
the pepper.
me if it's spicy.
Oh, I don't want to.
Okay.
Mikey don't like it. So we talked about the container. We talked about the maintenance. The next thing with these is we're going to try to harvest these like our ginger and turmeric. If you've missed that video, we'll put the description down below, or maybe even put a card above. But we're going to try to see if we can even harvest along the as we go whenever we need it. So hopefully they turn out right and we don't damage the crop from there. What we're going to have to do is, I've already planted one, is just go about anywhere. No, you don't want to go any deeper than about 2 inches. So, but I think I'm just going to do about 1 inch. The spacing really doesn't matter. So, like I said, this is our first time trying these. And then when it's time to harvest these, like I said, they have a good potato flavor, a nutty potato flavor. And you can use them as a potato substitute. And now with the nutrients of these, they're good and to help reduce the blood sugar. So if anyone's like diabetic and don't like the starchiness of potatoes, these are a nice alternative for you.
People do complain about those giving people gas, but they compare it to garlic. I mean, if you can tolerate garlic and you're eating garlic, you can tolerate that. So people really have scared off other people with the chokes about the gas that it can cause. So, but it's a healthier version of a potato.
Yeah, so I'll let you know if I gas out Mr. Naked Gardener after eating some of these.
I hope it's not like cheese for you.
So we saw that what you did was just cook it almost like a hash when you made it for me, correct?
I did.
And we just saw someone was doing almost like an alternative of potato soup. They did it off of these. And maybe we can even pickle them or even ferment them to help give some of that good bacteria into our system and whatnot. So now all we need to do here is to mulch it. And then after we mulch it, we're going to water it down. But let's put some mulch on here, and then we'll water it down, and we'll show you what to do after that. So as you can see, it's very easy to just to plant it off and start it off from there. Now, once it starts to grow up, it looks like like I said, it looks like a sunflower type plant, and it has a chocolatey smell to it, supposed to be, of the flower. And then we're going to top it off about, it grows anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall. We're going to top it off about 6 feet tall, so that way we can contain the growth of it, so it doesn't overshadow anything else that we have growing out here. We do different type of planting guides. We'll put a playlist above here. And if you're new to the channel and want to see how we do this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss an upload. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Until the next video, let's grow together. This hurt my back. Go fall.
Life alert. Because you're getting home.